RM250. This is, I think, the second year, because 1980 they were still air-cooled, and man, what an exciting time to be a motocross racer, because things were evolving so quickly, and these things were light years faster than the earlier air-cooled ones with much better suspension. The full floater suspension was a game changer. We've been working on this bike on and off for about a year now. We bought it at Daytona at the Ricky Carmichael Vintage Supercross last year. A friend of mine had this there, and yeah, I guess he'd owned it for quite some time, and decided it was time to sell it, so we bought it. We had the bike for a while. It was in running condition, but it was cosmetically a little bit rough, so we took it all apart, painted the frame, redid the whole front wheel, put new front tire and tube on it, cleaned up the forks quite a bit, put new front fender on it, new front number plate, new Renthal bars, new ODI grips, new levers, some new cables, cleaned out the tank, put some fresh VP in there. The original carb, we couldn't get it jetted quite right, so if you zoom in, you'll see we took the best route possible. We put a brand new PWK Air Striker carburetor on there with all new fuel lines and fuel hoses and throttle cable, so it's jetted perfectly. The top end's got good compression. The clutch, the transmission, everything works great on it. These are very fast bikes for the period. It's got a new shifter on it, new antifreeze, new gear lube, new spark plug, new reed valves. Let's see, so that's about all we had to do to the engine. The radiator shrouds are new, the seat cover is new, the side number plates are new, the rear fender is new, the DG silencer replaced the original, and I'm not sure whose pipe that is. That was on there when we bought it from Mike, but it's a handmade cone pipe, as you can see. I don't know if that's from PFR or if that's an early DG, I really don't know. You can see the airbox was removed, completely cleaned, painted, and rebuilt with a new air filter. So the rear tire and the rear wheel was taken apart. It has a new Dunlop tire and tube on there, new chain and sprocket. I'll write up everything else I can remember that we did to it once I get the work order. You can see the pegs are nice and straight. That's the first thing I look for on a vintage bike is the pegs, and then I take a look at the frame rails. So the frame rails on this one are just about perfect. Do you see any dents in there or anything?
No, sir.
Really super clean frame rails and straight pegs. And these are the original rims too, and they're straight. So if this was motocrossed in New England, I want to show them the other side of the frame rail.
Yes, sir.
Those would be all beat up. This side is absolutely perfect. I don't feel any dents in here or dings. Do you see anything?
No,
any damage?
sir. That one's clean.
So with a perfectly straight frame, really nice pegs, new shifter, the engine covers and the engine cases are in perfect condition. The original countershaft sprocket covers intact, no evidence of the chain ever coming off. It's a low hour original that was just taken apart and redone, and it looks beautiful. In my opinion, it's not finished yet. The number one thing with any motocross bike is making sure the suspension's set up right. The rear shock needs to be rebuilt on it. I would not race it with the shock on there. It definitely needs a rebuild and a recharge. You can see where the rear end was hanging down a little bit. I'd send the shock and the forks off to Race Tech and have them give them their gold valve treatment on it and go through the whole suspension for your weight and riding style. Then you'd have yourself a really kick-ass machine for vintage moto. But most of the heavy lifting's been done. Just basically redo the suspension. Oh, the other thing too is the original chain guide was broken. I asked the tech today, why don't we just order another one? I don't know, they're working on literally 100 bikes, so they forgot to put a new chain guide on it. So it's serviceable, it works, but you can see that it's got I'd replace the chain guide also. The chain sliders are good. Most of the hardware was replaced, all the mounting hardware for the plastics and the pipe and the seat and everything. So of course it's got all the bars and control. So getting harder and harder to find a 40-year-old motocross bike that's been given a little bit of love like this, and that is a good start with a pristine set of frame rails. Like I said, that's the most important thing. I'd much rather buy a bike that needs a shock rebuild than one that the frame shot, because once a frame shot, man, you got nothing. So we don't even restore bikes that have messed up frames at all. Because that's the heart of it. The carb and the air filter, I think it's like $300 dealer cost on the carb and air filter and fuel lines and cable and all that. So I'll add up on the work order how much we put on it for parts. I'm sure there's probably 25, 30 hours labor into it at least. So, and it's ready to go, ready to ride. Just rebuild the suspension and take it to your next ARMA race. If you have any questions about it, give us a call. 860-454-7024. We can help you with financing through Freedom Road. We can ship this thing anywhere in the world, or you can come pick it up here if you'd like. It also has new graphics on it too. I forgot to mention that. So definitely a nice looking bike in one of the first years of the liquid cooled 250s. Definitely a classic. Thanks for watching. God bless America.